It's that time again. It is the Super Bowl. So, of course, with the Super Bowl comes the player networking event. This is, of course, 2020, which is the 20th player networking event that Guy Troop and Troop 21 has hosted at each Super Bowl. And we're glad to be here. My name is Ray Ellis. This is Handle Your Business. And, of course, my special guest with me today, Moniek is here with me. And, Moniek, yes, you and I, of course, got a chance to do PNE last year for sure.
Yes.
I believe that was your first.
Last year was my second.
It was your second?
So this
is
my third one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a junior.
Okay, good, good. Not a rookie anymore.
No, I'm a junior. I'm a junior.
And so welcome back. Glad you're here. Glad so many of you are tuning in and so many people are here. I am so excited about this, Moniek. Each time that I come, and I've been coming probably about, maybe 15 years now, and it has done nothing but make me more and more excited about the work that I've tried to do over the years and that Guy Troop is doing to support the athletes and to help businesses that athletes have started to grow, to develop partnerships, collaborations, and to help the young people in these communities, give them an insight and a perspective that it's bigger than ball. It's not just what you do on the field, but it's also what you do in the classroom and how you prepare yourself for a transition that one day is going to happen.
Yes.
Every athlete will one day become a former professional athlete. And so this is something that Guy has put his heart into, and I am extremely happy about it. And I'm just wondering how your experience has been the last couple of years.
My experience has been great. I came 2017 was my first PNE, and then I was here at PNE last year in Atlanta. And me coming in as a business owner, military, like I would say the complete opposite end of the spectrum, from somebody that has been involved in sports in any way. It's been interesting and awesome to be a part of this and see how it has grown. But then, like you mentioned with Guy and what the organization behind this event is doing, the goal of making sure that the players understand it's about more than what happens on the field. And I think that is so awesome to be able to, especially this year with having the high school players here, preparing them for what's going to come after, but then also showing them the possibility of what could come after. Meeting people like you, somebody who has transitioned himself and talking to a lot of the businesses that are here and the corporate partners, it's really amazing. I wish something like this existed for all of these industries, but definitely for an athlete and in that very intimate community, it's important to have something like this available for them so they know to start planning for what's going to come after they leave the field.
And you're right, it is a very intimate community. It's somewhat unique in a sense that it's one of those communities that although it's very small, it's huge because everybody in the world seems to be a sports fan and they want to support the athletes when they're on the field and on the court. But it's important to us that they also have that interest that's equally important to us that you want to share with us and support us in that transition.
Right.
In the transition for athletes, I want everybody to know if you're raising a student athlete, if you are a student athlete, that there will come a time where you will no longer play your sport. You'll have to do something else in life. Now, the chances are there are some of the athletes today that make enough money that perhaps maybe financially they may be okay. But then there's the other aspect of this sport that it's like a family.
Right.
And when you're away from your family, many times we miss our families. There's other things that we're finding out that athletes have a very difficult time, and that's the psychological effects of, again, distancing yourself from those who have been a part of your life every single day. And these are some of the things that, again, the league for a long time said they supported their players, but the players, we didn't feel there was a lot of substance to what they were doing. Guy has extended his reach of those who are participating and supporting, and they're trying to support every aspect of your life. And I am so glad to see that finally happen because for many times people thought, well, you make so much money, you should be set for the rest of your life. But it's not just about making money. It's purpose. You want to have some purpose in life, and you want to be able to contribute to society, and you hope that society embraces you. And many times the athletes don't get the opportunity to be anything other than a celebrity in their communities, and so therefore they're not embraced. So when real life hits them, everybody's kind of surprised.
And
so I'm glad that you and other people are here today, because you understand that there's there's mutual benefit and mutual gain for you
Right.
and for athletes. And not only are athletes here to seek out opportunities to work with corporate America and develop partnerships and collaborations, we want the businesses that do come in to support us to support each other and develop relationships and working rapport so that you too can grow together. And I'm hoping that you've had an opportunity in your 2 or 3 years that you've been involved to meet other people and other companies that are here to help you grow your business.
Yes, that has been awesome. And I like what you said. PNE has, at least for me, it is building community around community. So for me, when you talk about the transition of a player, I'm former military, my husband's former military, so I think about the transition of a soldier and what that process is like and how it is difficult. And you, a lot of times after you've done your 22, 25, 30 years, you want to go on and do something else fulfilling. You want to be operating in your purpose. You want to be able to have access to resources that you don't even know exist. You know, the goal is to really just to get out and expand your horizons and connect. And that, for me, is what I see this event becoming. That's what it has been. And the fact that with this being the 20th year, it's expanded to 3 days, which just, the footprint is just expanding significantly. And I think that is so awesome because it does open up more doors. It allows for more opportunities for networking. It allows for more collaboration, more community, which is great. And I love that Guy has really, he's very selective about who he allows to be in the room. And that shows the level of care that he has for the player community. He wants to make sure that they're not being taken advantage of. He wants to make sure that they are getting the best resources, information, tools that are out there. And for me as a business owner, that makes me feel good because I passed the test.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you passed the test, but I can tell you this, Monique, that's extremely important to me. As a former athlete, I was one of those individuals that I can say that I was victimized, that the caretakers didn't take the best care of those that they were there to protect. And Guy's been one of those, we call them gatekeepers, you know, but those who are there to protect athletes and keep us from, you know, harm and danger. And a lot of times that harm and danger comes in white collar crime. These are people that are here trying to take advantage of you, to leverage you for something that will benefit them, and you will be compromised, and in a way of which it'll hurt you financially sometimes, and hopefully there's no physical harm. You know, but that also is something we want to make sure we protect the athletes from that. So, Guy, who of course spent some time with the NC2A, involved in their programs where he was assuring in their enforcement department, ensuring that the athletes stayed in their lane and they kept the wrong people away from the athletes. And then he transitioned into the league, and then he transitioned into entrepreneurship. And now he's been really very instrumental in supporting and guiding players in their transition. And it's something that was needed. I'm thankful. I'm so happy. This is his 20th anniversary. He told me that he's feeling like this is the fourth quarter. And so, but he's going to finish strong.
That's right.
You know, and I don't want to say anything that I shouldn't say, but I know, you know, what we are always looking to do is that we're looking to prepare the next generation of people to hand the baton to, so they can take the next, the next few miles, the next few years, you know, as long as they need to, and whatever direction they need to go into. But certainly I am happy to see so many young, here today, when I saw those student athletes walk through this building, I was so happy. You know, there were hundreds of student athletes that were here. Of course, I was excited because the business that I am in gaming, esports, I was excited because all of them were interested in my work. But at the same time, they are taking interest in what's happening, and the player networking event is growing, and I'm happy that we're able to have them. And I'm going to get a couple of those young men to speak here on Handle Your Business and find out exactly what they want to do in life, because it's bigger than ball. They're going to do something else. They're going to get scholarships that's going to allow them to get an education that can assure them that they'll have at least the foundation for them to go out and support their families for the rest of their life. And that's what's important. We want them to know that, hey, you know, at a certain age, you know more than you knew a few years ago, because you've experienced some things in life. And for me, that's important for me, because when I try to share with these young men, it used to be about, okay, hey, I think Ohio State University is a great place for you to go and get a good education and, you know, meet a lot of good people and travel and play in big football games that will be on national television. You may get a chance to get drafted, but I've learned so much more in life. You know, I worked in player programs and player development. You know, we're talking about developing human beings, and now I can share with these. You know, I've been married for, you know, it seems like my whole life. I love my wife. I'm so glad she stayed with me all these years. And I can talk to them now about what it's like to raise a family and to have kids and to work. And when you work in the NFL, you travel.
Away from your family.
Sometimes the wife has to take care of the kids and all these things. They don't know about those things. You want to start a new business? Well, you're starting a new business with the money that you made from football. No money's coming in now. So if you take away that money now to start a new business, and the business doesn't bring revenue in for a while, then is it going to affect the family? So I just want the guys to understand about life in totality. And so many people here, you know, it's one thing about in networking, a lot of times it gives you an opportunity to develop a relationship with people. You get to know people. And then when you know those people, those are the kind of people you want to do business with. And we've got a safe environment here where these people, where they can be vulnerable, they can say, I don't know. That's what's so good. A lot of times athletes, you don't want to say you don't know. You know, people think you know everything. You know everything about your sport. But you don't know everything about business. And we need people like you to help them so that they become better business people, because there's something they can contribute, they can bring to the table, but they're not experts. They're experts in sports now. And we want them to become experts in business and be successful business people, sustain their businesses because they've met some of the right people at a good networking event, which is what we have here annually, every year. And this is our 20th year. And of course, we're looking forward to all those people out there. For those of you who are out there that are tuning in, listening, watching, be sure that you stay tuned. Come back, come back. We'll be here 3 days. We're doing this for 3 days. We've never done it for 3 days. We typically do it for 1 day. But this is 20 years. It's time to celebrate. So we're going to do this for 3 days, and we hope that you stay here and you come back. I'm going to be interviewing, you know, there's a few players that have arrived. There are some vendors that are here. I'm going to take some time, Monique. But first, I want you to tell them a little bit about your business and what you do, because I am certainly proud to see you again, see you back. I certainly want to say this. I'm proud to say this. This is, we're about to embark on Black History Month for 2020. And we have a young black woman who's a successful businesswoman who finds the benefit of coming to an event that is supposed to be centered around a man's sport, you know. But talk to us a little bit about obviously, you know, the success you've had in your business and the things that you're doing. It's related to technology and new, you know, emerging technologies, and so people will know about them, because a lot of times people can't do what they don't know about. So
that's so good. That's so good, Ray. And thank you for that. So like I said earlier, I align the transition of a player and that player community to the military. In my mind, it's similar. It's a similar journey. I'm an Army veteran. My husband is an Army veteran. So we did the separate from our families and going, Uncle Sam is telling you to go different places. We did that for 22 years. And when I got out, I ventured into entrepreneurship almost 10 years ago now, doing it as a side hustle, which a lot of people do that nowadays, and transition from side hustle into full-time entrepreneurship. I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2008, and I've had the opportunity to participate in events like this and connect with people all over the world, which I think is awesome, and that's been because of innovation and technology. Through my consulting business, which is a business that I'm here representing at PNE, I help other entrepreneurs and business owners leverage tech like social media, email marketing, live streaming that we're doing right now, which is the best thing since a bread slicer, let me tell you, and other digital tools to help them reach a global audience. And definitely I recognize that somebody that either is a high school athlete, college athlete, professional athlete, the fact that they are able to be in this room and have people introduce them to the power of their personal brands, I think that is so amazing, because you're right. There are a lot of people walking around today that don't really know what they don't know. And the fact that these men in this room, these players in this room, will have the opportunity to be introduced to something that might not have been on their radars when they walked in the door. They might not even be thinking about the fact that with tech and with digital tools, they could be running a business right now and be completely hands off. And I just love that. It speaks to possibility. It speaks to being able to change the trajectory of their lives and of their families' lives. And I think that is so amazing. And it's just awesome. So I am very excited to be here. For those that are watching, if you want to know more about what I do, my business page will be tagged in the caption of this broadcast, but it's Renegade Creative Media Group. I consider myself to be a renegade creative because I do things out of the box and I use what I have. One of the things that I like to tell people that I consult with and talk to is use what's in your hand. You don't always have to start with the most expensive, the biggest, the latest and greatest. Sometimes you start by using what is in your hand. And that right there, I believe, can propel and prepare more entrepreneurs for what's coming. Yes, the life of a player is very interesting and they get to do a lot of things in the time that they're playing, but the fact that this event exists tells them and reminds them that, like you said, Ray, it's bigger than ball. Yes. And I think that is so awesome. So I'm excited. I'm grateful to be in this room. Shout out to Guy Troop for continuing to invite me to keep coming. And I just love being in this space where people are talking about the future plans and what they want to do, and also introducing a lot of these players and athletes to the possibility of what's to come after they've done playing.
Well, you know, one thing that I like for sure is new things are coming, and new things a lot of times come from new ideals, and those new ideals come from a new generation.
Yes.
And I'm so excited because there is a new generation of student athletes who are here today and are going to be here these next 3 days. And that means we're going to have a greater impact because we're going to have a chance to impact their lives for 3 days as opposed to just one.
Right.
And
right.
there were at least a few hundred young men and young women that were in the building today. And I was just so excited. They were so engaged. They were attentive. They were listening. You could see their eyeballs. They were actually asking questions. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important. I think it's important to go into an environment, if you're there to learn something, then we may not touch on everything that you expect to hear, but you can ask a question, and then perhaps maybe you can get some information from some of these people who are here. After all, we're here to help. One thing I like about this event, an event gives me an opportunity to expand my business and my network, but it also gives me a chance to give back.
Yes.
And I really love that because I'm one of those people, I'm going to be honest, you know, my life, I thank God for my life, you know, it is and has been successful, I believe. You know, a young man coming from a neighborhood in Canton, Ohio, we weren't the wealthiest, but I don't think we certainly weren't the poorest, but whatever we were when it came to how much money my mother had to support her family because she raised she raised her 3 children by herself. My father was not there in the home, and I just thank my mother up in heaven for everything that she did for me. But certainly there were other people in the neighborhood that helped support. You know, whether they're picking, you know, walking you home from school, or you go to you spend the night over their house, you know, or, you know, they watch your kids, you watch their kids, just togetherness. You know, she could leave the house knowing that her kids were in a neighborhood that was safe.
Yes.
You know, we were not, you know, violent amongst one another. You know, we were trying to help each other, and a lot of my friends were very successful in life, and we get to support each other when we travel. And so it's one of those things that, again, you get a chance to build healthy relationships in this environment as well. And to see these young men, in particular the young men who are playing football, I'm excited for them, and I hope that they're safe and away from harm and danger in the way they play the game, but I hope they can continue to reap all the benefits. And one of the benefits I believe is so important is to get their education. Yes. Because that is something that can help you continue for the rest of your life to take care of your family. Yes. So I'm going to continue to stress that, and I hope they will listen to that as well. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. We want to thank you all for tuning in. You've been listening to Handle Your Business at the Player Networking event here in Miami at the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, is going to win the Super Bowl. I wasn't supposed to say that early, but I just wanted to say it. I feel so good about it. Andy Reid, shout out to Andy Reid. Okay, we'll be right back.